our differences, let us also direct attention to our common interests and the means by which those differences can be resolved. And if we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet.
And something you have a love and a passion for, apply yourself to it as well as you possibly can. Learn as much about it as you can.
Second, my biggest argument for the greatness is there are probably no two greater modern comedians of television.
Second time tonight, two individuals will advance through the round of 32 and make my...
Laziness, you're really kind of talking about it's tiptoeing the line of like a character flaw.
My contention is that prior to the Revolutionary War,
all of a sudden when you expand the league to 3 times that size, you don't have 3 times that number of stars.
Guys, Pete Babcock has moved on to round number 2.
So the local governments would... Piper, we didn't come here for your sarcasm. We came here for business. Make fun of Geronimo and his men, call him all kinds of names.
He's a hard worker, log splitter. He wrestled a little bit,
While Gerald Briscoe and Fred Ottman have moved on to round number 2.
There's so many things. Young people just don't have a calling.
The same way that militaries have been doing this for thousands of years.
Both these men to keep your nose clean.
It means they couldn't do it at night. The call of the century. Giants win the pennant. Giants win the pennant.
John Layfield will move on to round 2 of TCAN Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament.
$175 on the bar, makes it look easy.
The first thing I want to do is, again, be very literal about this. A routine is something that's performed as part of a regular procedure rather than for a special reason. That's what started the war. It would never happen. We were coming off McCarthyism. We were coming off the Red Scare. Is that not controversy? Because if it's not, please tell me how it's not. We went into Vietnam because of expansion, territorial and global expansion. That was the real reason. And in addition to that...
Like, if you organize your space where you live in, your mind will be organized.
How can you fight for people's freedoms, but you still hold people against their will? The new network is a great cause. There needs to be debates like this between people from different walks of life, or how would there ever be any resolution?
Mark Henry, Avi Klein, you have advanced into round 2.
Every athlete that I've ever met, they would love this show. How do we get all of the academics, the athletes to watch this?
Head of the key back, ball stolen by Brian Taylor. Being trailed by Terry. Taylor dunks.
Grabbed off by Kevin Johnson. Eddie Johnson down the left side, gets the pass. Pull up from 18. Swish!
Referee, I don't recognize this referee, Logan. It's Nick Koza. Oh, yes, it is Nick.
It was extremely unfortunate that a man built to be president was cast into a thermonuclear conflict.
To halt this offensive buildup, a strict quarantine.
And he said that Oswald was involved with the
on all offensive military equipment.
With the mob.
They go hand in hand. Jim just made the point that Jimmy Hoffa's is the greatest story, disappearance.
26 guys and gals, Eddie Johnson and Jumping Jim Brunzell have moved on and advanced to round 2.
Ned Ryerson?
Bang! Kimberly ruined my entire life.
Again?
This letter gave me, in a way, permission for me to do what I always dreamed of doing.
You may be a role model, but the media is definitely looking to tear you down.
Stephen Tobolowsky barely ekes out a win against Todd Bridges.
Wait a minute. Who put the keg way out here in the woods?
If you treat yourself the way you would a garden, you know, some people can't grow a flower.
At 124 beats per minute, the Jaws theme would...
With a grand total of 64 points, Jason London is the top vote getter. Rusitano moves on as well to round number 2.
I want the facts first.
And I've always wished,
I know it's McCready,
that we could have,
he's the thing,
of unbiased reporting.
B. Brian Blair, guys and gals, advances to round number 2.
See what happens.
That's it.
Fight to survive!
Why don't you find out for yourself? Discover Planet Stasiak.
Point is that I still think everything trickles from the top.
Magazine restrictions, bans in national parks, schools, concerts.
As he won 2 straight topics, 2-0, Eric Heron will be moving on to the second round.
Do
me a favor, stay here while I go talk to him.
If you have a popular vote,
they're boxing us in with these rules of engagement.
the judges,
And if you agree to them and one of our planes gets knocked down or one of the ships won't stop for inspection, the chiefs will have us by the ball.
it's just going to get out of control.
And will force us to start shooting.
And, still...
Jeremy, London has a rebuttal.
None of that. It's been proven that that's not true. Sports programs get far more funding.
Say right now, let me bring in the winner.
That was fun, man.
Barry, he's got his shot. On court to Porter. Should have pride in yourself and want to play.
The work that had to be done. Computers were not what they were before.
This guy named Jack Ruby comes out of nowhere and shoots him. And then it was just total chaos.
Rick Barry moves on to round 2. Is Jim McMahon with 39 points. He moves on to round 2.
One of the men 14 times heavyweight champion of the world. This is major league. This is big time, boy.
Kelly White is just simply a scheduled out little frame on a piece of paper that I'm getting ready to mark a line through.
It's the experience that he got.
It also matters who the advice is coming from.
2-1, officially in round number 2 of the Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament is Marcus Buff Bagwell.
From who?
For myself.
And what is this message you speak of?
Yo, just because you live in large with crazy bank and stupid wheels and I'm butt naked don't give you the right to dish. You know what I'm saying?
All right, now, check this out. I thought you were going to join us for dinner. I got busy. Yeah, I heard.
Once the 80s started, we were now in the workforce in the office.
The video revolution is what took us to TV.
It made people start to reach out and learn about each other's cultures more freely.
Of 26 points, Diane Franklin has also moved on to round number 2. Tommy Davidson is officially in the second round of the Grand Debate Tournament.
You won't see it on CNN. You won't see it on CNN.
Avi.
But Magnum TA is a heck of a challenger, maybe the champion tomorrow.
Have to watch out that they'll come up in a trap.
Sometimes we have to step out in faith and look fear in the eye to overcome.
A lot of those experiences would encourage us to step forward so that we continue to move, continue to grow.
Mr. Allen defeats Mr. Lenny Wilkins.
Elliot! Sit down. What's going on?
Because the way you're looking at me, we must be old friends. Where do we meet?
I mean, I still got to take a ticket, but you're not supposed to tell me.
Take it away.
Dickerson, 10-5, touchdown, Eric Dickerson, 62 yards. That's a high.
You have a mutual respect for one another because you both are fighters. It's no different than playing football.
Most control, I believe, is an illusion.
I believe love is the greatest power we have to create with.
Mrs. D. Wallace moves on to round number 2. Eric Dickerson with 40 points also moves on to round number 2.
Seeing the path and paying your dues.
Bret Hart advances to round 2.
This young lady broke up with him.
To appear on this dating game, Richard Ramirez.
Moving on to round number 2, Davis Jubilee, Mindy Red. He's moved on to round number 2.
You're providing a false sense of security.
John Red finishes first and will be in round 2 of the Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament. Howard Collado has finished second and will also advance. Era J has advanced to round number 2.
Oh, that's a low
down.
Of watercress.
Well, it's delicious.
The sister of Mary Hartman. I can't think of the character's name. Then after that,
I think she played Kathy Shumway, maybe?
Yeah, she was Kathy Shumway. Very good. That's very impressive.
You got a good workshop you're doing.
Sure
if this
do,
is
man.
what's going on in
Yeah.
your workshop. Wow.
Ms. Gilmore, rules are rules. When you're late, you forfeit the right to take the test.
Last name Matthews, first name Dakin. He's welcome to the green.
A lot of us came into this world on November 7th, 1940, and a few things collapsed.
Isn't that incredible? Isn't that absolutely incredible?
An enemy deserves no mercy. What is the problem, Mr. Lawrence?
You're sheer 9 or 10. You're probably 9.5.
Oh.
10 is no one's perfect, but honest to God, you're terrific. You do your homework, and
I appreciate
I've done
that.
everybody. I've done in the '80s. I did Johnny Carson. I did
Sure.
Merv Griffin. I did it all, and you're very energetic and good. And you ask the right questions.
You were going to renounce your position. Thousands of people would have died without that vaccine.
You were going to tell...
Honestly, another trio of questions, now more underrated. We have Billy D. Williams, Italian man named Skippy for unicycle.
I'm sorry, Italian men named Skippy. Put me away, Abby. That's yeah.
So we 90 minutes and 2 hours every single day on the net on Scoop. Who else gives you that? Wrestle with anything but why? Because we talk about everything. But if you watch Spaceball, guys and gals, you live in fantasy land. They sold the merchandise, and they did that.
They put their own sequels in the movie ahead of
In the
time.
movie.
Payback time. To the best of my judgment.
His inaugural last name Ventura, first name Jesse.
I'll tell you this, Avi, you definitely do your homework.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
No, Avi, you're great. I like I said, the good thing about you, unbelievably good about you do your frickin' homework.
Thank you, my friend.
You're extremely prepared, much more prepared than most interviewers that I get, because you know stuff that I wouldn't expect you to know, and sometimes I'm a little disappointed that you do know.
You were like a brother to all of us. Is that okay, Tony? Can I sit?
Oh, where'd you get that book from?
Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful. But
Yeah.
baby, I tell you what, you did your homework.
Did you have fun here in the green room?
Anytime you want me back, I'm here, brother.
You know, one thing I never worry about, baby, is that energy crisis. Because I got my own personal heating system.
I'm prepared to take on this challenge of this wonderful, wonderful monologue that you've written, and I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do after I read it again for maybe the third or fourth time. I wish that I'd had the time to commit it to memory, because it deserves that. Giving me your thoughts and your input, because as I told you, that piece that you sent me is, I love good writing, and I think
Thank
that's
you,
been
sir.
the secret of my career.
I mean, you are unbelievable.
No.
That was one of the best introductions I've ever had in my entire life. Not better than my bar mitzvah.
Why do you use the payphone? To call out, Cyril, that's why. Why not use a cell phone? You mean a cell phone? Because they're illegal in Oz. They're against the rules.
Ralph Cramden, the yoga instructor, or Don Corleone, the computer repair person.
But I really enjoyed this, man. You're a smart guy and you ask really good questions. And
Mortgage up to date, so you're still gonna have to sell. Fantastic.
Absolutely, my friend.
You made me laugh too. It's great.
Yeah, I think Alf would be wisecracking while the alien would be tearing everybody apart. I guess. Let's talk about some of the '80s horror classics.
Sally Kirkland.
I've been acting 25 years, and everyone's been saying hang in, and now I know why.
And me to take him in. Take him in? I wanted you to take him in? What the hell are you talking about?
Sally Kirkland, welcome to the green room.
How did you do that thing where you were talking so fast? How did you learn how to do that?
I don't know.
Very few people can do what you did. Well, the acting teacher here, 35 years, commends you on your ability to do that. I'm very impressed.
I've one thing to say, and that's damn it, Janet, I love you.
No, you know what? You're a very interesting person. I mean,
please.
you with all this rhyming stuff. You must really put a lot of effort into this, and I would love to read or see something that you've written because I'm sure it's really interesting.
Rated and why? Sauerkraut, Henry Kissinger's deep, soothing voice, or dogs wearing sweaters.
I like dogs wearing sweaters.
Get caught in a bloodbath ensues.
What is with you today? Don't get me wrong, I don't wish...
Your jack of all trades is teaching this craft as rewarding for you as performing in it.
I think sometimes it's more rewarding. Where did you, man, you do your research? I'm very impressed, brother. I'm very impressed.
Very simple formula! Everybody's a suspect!
I hope you're getting paid a lot, because that was the greatest intro I think I've ever had. All the stuff that you talked to me about that I don't even remember about myself is so impressive. Highly impressed. I would give this a very high A.
Not just through the good times, through the bad, too.
Michael Irvin on line 4.
Oh, sorry. Bruce Wayne. Alexander Knox.
Are you inclined to agree with the fact that the greatest sports films are those really a particular sport as a backdrop of sorts?
I think you're 150% right.
He was almost like a gazelle. He glided.
Eric, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Vic? How you doing, man? I like that. I like that introduction. Golly, I didn't know that stuff about myself. Oh yeah.
Would you say this is a little up?
Oh man, definitely. This is. I think my top. I mean, because when you do the intro you gave me, I gotta give it to you. I like.
You deserve it. Interestingly enough, later on, you were able to get her cast on a series, and she received her SAG card. Is that right?
Oh, I love you that you brought that up.
Oh,
I can't tell you how refreshing it is that somebody knows what they're doing. Such a difference for us, and it makes it exciting for us, so thank you.
Let's give a warm welcome to a legend of a man and a player. Last name Johnson, first name Ed.
Wow! Man, let me tell you something. When I have a retirement party, even at my funeral, you better show up.
Thank you.
Papa Smurf has a hip hop artist.
Yo, yeah. Give me some of that. Funny, real human being. Last name Farley. First name Kevin.
Avi, man, really, you're a very talented man. That's amazing. You're a very intelligent guy. Does his homework, and I appreciate that you looked into my work so much, and I appreciate all the work you do on this show. It really pays off.
I spent the first part of my life in Texas. Oh, that's funny. You don't have an accent. I don't want to talk like those assholes.
If you were back in your high school prom, I welcome to the green room the one and only Mr. Sizemore, first name Tom. How are you, my friend?
Wow.
So I could turn the volume lower if you'd like next time. If you'd like me to do that, Tom, I could do that.
Wow, that was something else. I don't know what I can do now.
Oh, please.
That was terrific.
Okay, how about don't tell mom the babysitter's dead? Let's welcome in the talented Mr. Coogan, first name Keith.
Who's at the door?
Stray dog.
What?
Thank you. Hi, guys. Oh my God, what a great introduction. Fantastic. You do your research. Connected with me right there. And he knows my brand. He nailed it. I can't get, and now I know why you have, and thank you for letting me have this personality today. I appreciate it. Is that this is why your audiences love you. This is why you continue to great guests, and great guests beget great guests.
It was fabulous.
Funky chicken.
Gentlemen, brother. They're really two Shakespeare.
Well, I'm excited.
Good. How you feeling, John?
Terrific. Hello. I mean, I love it. You brought that up.
Wow. I forget how much you do your homework.
There it is, guys and gals and pals. If that intro didn't light your fire, you might as well acquire a batch of desire. As here on the green room, the bar gets it higher and higher. And regardless of your attire, you will never tire, because this is the place where luminaries battle out with matches that have gone down to the wire. Yes, indeed. This is the star-studded Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament, round number 1, night number 20, which means that round number 1 is in its 11th hour. And as of tonight, 15 Hall of Famers from sports, wrestling, and more have entered this exclusive field. Let's not forget about 17 award winners and nominees from Hollywood. Their talent and excellence is never concealed. That's right, Oscar winners, nominees, legends, champions, they're all here for the pride and the prize. There's no easy way to win. A magic wand won't get it done, nor will a chant of hocus pocus. Concentration, research, personality, honesty, along with sheer and absolute focus. Last week, guys and gals, we celebrated our 150th consecutive episode, and considering how much we have to offer over here, I am truly proud. I'm proud to spend my Saturday nights with you, the engine, an amazing and positive crowd that has allowed me to express my passion quite loud and clear, because the place to be is here. We air on 53 pages live, not including YouTube and my very own. I appreciate this massive audience so very much, and will always let it be known. What's on the line, you might ask? How about $13,000, a trip for 2 to Greece, and the right to become Mr., Miss, or Mrs. TKN? They come from near and afar, from Japan to Senegal, from Minnesota to North Dakota, from Canarsie to Milwaukee. The competitors are hard-hitting like mid-70s hockey, an uppercut by Philly's own Rocky, as entertaining as Chaplin pre-talkie. So let me end these rhymes and put away the role of disc jockey. The competitors are ready to enter this virtual arena and go toe-to-toe. The first competitor that I will introduce has quite the inner glow, and she's a pro, and her presence will make you go, whoa. She's incredibly talented, intelligent, multifaceted, and one of a kind. She's incredibly honest and is never afraid to speak her mind. She revolutionized the women's division with innovation and dedication. Her dictionary of life contains many words, but never procrastination. As her journey in this tournament begins tonight, will she arrive at her destination? She's one of the all-time greats, an absolute trailblazer. She can beat him with power, humor, and wax philosophical like good old Kelsey and Frazier. Will she be the last person standing when it's all said and done, as her grace, beauty, and strength surpass that of a mighty Appaloosa? Time will tell, so put your hands together for a wonderful human being. Last name Michelli, first name Medusa. Welcome to the Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Oh my God. What an intro. Absolutely loved it. You are a true champion. Absolutely at what you do.
I know about that. You are the champ. And you know what? Before we bring in your mystery competitor, I got to say this again. I'm so happy to see you here tonight. Great talking to you all week. You're here for the pride and the prize and winning the whole thing as well.
Yes, I am. And I'm really excited because I love debates. Even though I debate with my husband, I debate with my friends, I debate with you, and I just met you. And so riddle me this, riddle me that. I am ready for this tonight.
Interesting that you brought up riddle me this, riddle me that. I like that. Actually, guys and gals, a little foreshadowing perhaps. Who knows? Let's see. Guys and gals, Medusa is one hell of a competitor, one hell of a human being, a fast friend as well. But man, she's here to win this thing. Let's see how it goes. So guys and gals, our second competitor tonight is a man that is class personified, and our conversations off camera are always intelligent, insightful, and a whole lot of fun. He won 2 Emmy Awards for co-writing the Academy Awards, the Oscars in 90 and 91. He grew up a Yankee and Roger Maris fan. He loved the Orioles, Frank Robinson, and Harmon Killebrew. You guys and gals and pals need more hints? Certainly there's another clue. He showcased his range of versatility in Bull Durham, Tim Burton's Batman, and Good Morning Vietnam. He's a baseball aficionado and could probably name every major star from Canada to Guam. His love for the game might have been acquired from his father, Sonny. Later on, his hit HBO series covered the inner workings of business, sports, and oh yes, that money. After 7 years in Houston, he did stand-up at the Improv in Manhattan, where he shared the stage with Seinfeld, Larry David, and Paul Reiser, to name a few. He also wrote jokes for Rodney Dangerfield. Hopefully he likes my material. If not, just lie. Forget about being true. Then came a hit HBO series that we all remember. It began as a sports version of Spinal Tap. He created, wrote, and starred on this show, which was much more entertaining than this rap. He was nominated twice for Best Actor in a Comedy Series and for his refreshing and truthful performance. This incredible HBO series that I'm referencing to is Arliss. He made us laugh. That is of high importance. He's accomplished so much and is here to win it all. So please put your hands together and welcome a legend of a human being. First name Robert, last name Wall. Welcome to the Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament, my friend.
Thank you. Medusa, first of all, you look great. That's nice to see you.
You're being smooth already. Okay.
Oh, you're going to win. This is going to be a no-brainer.
I told you.
No.
I told you that.
No. This is a slam dunk. I just watched 25 minutes of all these wrestlers kissing the hobby's ass about how great it is. Oh, this is yeah. I mean, you've done your homework. So he's supposed to do your homework. It's his job.
That's true. That is very true. That is very true.
No, we give people props now for doing their job.
Right, Robert, right. But that being said, that intro was meant to give you respect and give Medusa respect.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. But I'm just telling this vote, Christie's going to get more votes from the Republican Party than I am going to get against Medusa.
Tactics. These are tactics. Robert is a genius. Medusa's a genius. Guys, here's what I'm going to do.
It's okay. She's great.
Every time we talk on the phone, I learn something from you. Every single time we're on the phone, I learn something from you. So, yes, it's going to be a great matchup, guys. Now, again, before we begin this matchup, Medusa and Robert have worked with one another. Medusa, I'm going to go off screen for about a moment. And then if you guys would want to have a conversation for about maybe a minute or so, I'll then pop up and we'll get started with this debate, guys and gals. And
Absolutely. Oh, my gosh. First of all, Robert, it is so great to see you. A big fan of yours till this day, and even back way back when we kind of worked together, didn't we?
Right?
Yeah. And your hat, I want to say thank you. My husband is 31 years veteran. He just retired, Command Sergeant Major. So thank you so much. Appreciate
you. Thank him for him. My father, I was not in the service. I have to. My father served in World War II. In fact, here's great. He was on the island of Tinian. He was a code breaker, and he was in the Pacific on the island of Tinian, and his commanding officer was Paul Tibbets, and that's where the Enola Gay flew from. So my father was a cryptographer, and I said, "So, Dad, did you get a piece of the message? Did you get the message about dropping the bomb?" And he said, "No, I think it came over in pieces. I don't think it came in one piece." And he had something like "Little Boy Down," something to that effect. But what was cool was my father. The best thing about the story was he didn't lie. He actually thought, he said, "I didn't know. I thought Eleanor Roosevelt was coming over because she'd come over in the Philippines the year before." But he didn't lie. He could have said, "Yeah, I actually got the message."
Right. Oh,
that's interesting.
So you shared a lot with your father and growing up with him, and that's amazing. You have siblings as well.
One brother, and I just lost my sister.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry for that, Robert. Guys and gals, on the rare occasion, I have to bring him up. I will always bring him up because he was my mentor. Richard Donner was a fan of both of these entertainers, the man who got me into this industry. Thank you, Richard, for watching and for supporting me as you do every time. So, guys and gals, let's move on to topic number one. I will announce this topic, and we will be off to the races, guys. Remember, if there's a rebuttal, Medusa will kick things off. If there's a rebuttal, Robert simply has to raise his index finger. I will pop in. He could rebut Medusa if he'd like. Medusa could do the same as well with Robert for any of the topics. And, of course, after each topic, all of you, the engine that makes this entire thing go. And as you know, we are on 53, make it 54 pages tonight because we're also streaming on Medusa's YouTube channel, guys and gals, live right here. We are on 54 pages, 7-figure views across the board, cumulative. We appreciate you. We started with a donut a few years back, and now 7 figures across the board every Saturday night, guys and gals. We do it live, and we thrive. And hopefully, guys and gals, you will be able to survive because this is going to be a night that's going to be electric. I guarantee you. Keep voting, and you are the engine that makes this entire thing go, as you know. So, guys and gals, topic number one.
Before you begin, this is now live on Medusa's page too. I was wrong. Christie would get 3 times the amount of votes. It's going to be heard. It's going to be heard. You know who's going to get more votes? I'm going to get as many votes as Liz Cheney would get right now.
Oh dear. Nope.
That's how many votes I'm getting.
I'll tell you what, though, here's to balance it out. Our judges in the back, their votes are worth 3 points. We got 2 wildcard voters as well, so it all evens out nicely. Guys and gals, topic number one, best rock frontmen or women of all time. They're right here, and they're right there. They're out in front. The unquestioned focal point of the band. They're the rock and roll frontmen or front women. But who are the greatest ever? And critically, what makes a truly great one? What are the qualities that put someone at the front of the line of frontmen or women? It's not simply the sum of their talents, is it? If I had to try to nail it in the fewest possible words, I'd say it's a presence beyond just performance. As Steven Van Zandt described using slightly lengthier phrasing in his book, frontmen are the receivers of the
Van Zandt.
Van Zandt, you gotta love him. East Street Band. He said the receivers, get this, Robert. I gotta concur with him though. He said the receivers of the energy as well as the transmitters. They're the preacher, they're the medicine man, they're the mystic, the one possessed by the spirit. I guess you could say that, like a lot of things, you know them when you see them. So just what characteristics might endow someone with that rock star it factor? Probably above all, it's simply attitude. But in addition to that, there's likely to be some intoxicating combination of charisma, magnetism, flamboyance, and sexiness. I know a thing or two about that. The best have an indescribable energy, an aura, the allure that can become enchanting.
5 minutes of a video, and now this.
And I know you loved it. I saw you popping in the back. I saw you quoting again from the stage. Mr. Van Zandt.
You're wearing him out.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Robert Wall, I know that you're hanging on every word. I know you are. So being a front man is complex. Singing is the easy part. But every singer is a storyteller. So guys and gals, we're going to kick things off with Medusa, who will make a case for Robert Plant as the greatest rock and roll frontman of all time. When she is done, Robert will make a case for Freddie Mercury as the greatest rock and roll frontman of all time. Medusa, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
In a 3, in a 2, in a...
Okay, so Robert Plant, it's power, passion, and emotion. And with that thunderous voice, when he sang Immigrant Song, the sexual swagger when he sang Trampled Underfoot, and the smoky blues, Since I've Been Loving You. So Robert maintains his credibility throughout until to this day, because he absolutely, his credibility goes with collaborating with Buddy Miller, Alison Krauss, and Patty Griffin. However, to add with that, he is sexy as hell, and he would definitely be a guy, and he is my favorite. The band, when I was a kid, I told all the neighbors and all of my girlfriends that my middle name was Kashmir because I loved Robert Plant. Now, I don't know about Freddie Mercury. He is absolutely talented, and he has such a range of things that he has done. But there's one thing about Plant that I don't think Freddie Mercury was equivalent to. And that is that I believe that he had an award in 2012 at the Kennedy Center, which was given to him by Barack Obama. And he's sexy in those jeans, those tight jeans that laced up in front, and it just made all the girls go, ooh. I just can't help it.
Guys and gals. Yeah, Robert Plant, absolutely. Look, I remember when Robert and I were talking on the phone, we were talking about Robert Plant and all the great frontmen as well. Absolutely, Medusa.
That was terrific. By the way, first, there's no wrong answer here. I put together a list here. These are the people. Listen to the people. You think about frontmans. Now, I have to define for what a front person to me is. In other words, for example, Bruce Springsteen's not a front person. It's Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Yes.
It's Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. So that's Diana Ross is part of a singing group. It's not really a band, I suppose. So, for my definition. So, I mean, think of these great people we have. I mean, now originally we had 2 other guests on. They had already taken Jim Morrison and Mick Jagger.
Yes.
So I was thinking, who else? So listen to the names. Something we talk about the beauty of this thing. Okay, these are people who didn't even make my first cut. David Lee Roth.
Oh, I was going to say. I thought David was great.
Eddie Vedder, Kurt Cobain, John Sebastian, Eric Burden, John Fogerty from Creedence, Michael McDonald, Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, Steve Perry, Steve Tyler. I had Plant down there. Roger Daltrey, Sting, Bono, right? And the one who, I thought about this one. And I can make an argument. If you just want to talk about performance live or performer, who was ever better than Sly of Sly and the Family Stone?
Oh, top notch, definitely top notch. You got Axl Rose. Axl Rose, again, during his time as well, was another great frontman, but the list goes on and on.
I got to tell you, my friend went to see Axl Rose the other day at a concert. He said he's got zero voice left. Nothing.
Zero voice left.
He has to talk the lyrics now.
Wait a minute. I just saw Axl Rose. He was fantastic.
Yeah,
and he was even on time. He was on time.
Yeah.
Maybe he was sick. He was just telling me he was backstage and he said, "Yeah, I see this." He was like, I don't know.
But Robert, you did bring up a plethora of great names. My question to you is, before you delve into Freddie Mercury, and of course you let us know why during your actual presentation, but you did go with Freddie Mercury from Queen. I can't wait to hear the points you make as it pertains to Freddie Mercury being the best frontman of all time. So if you are ready, good sir, in a 3, in a 2, in a...
Well, I just think, that voice cuts through. Number one, you have to have the voice. Robert Plant's got the voice. All these guys, Daltrey, Jagger, they have to have the voice. And Freddie Mercury is, when I think, it depends. Like I said, there's no wrong answer here. Freddie Mercury's performance-wise, as far as sex, boy, he had a much bigger pool to choose from, didn't he? I mean, as far as I know, as far as we know, it seems to me that he's got a much larger base. So, I mean, and the songs are timeless. I mean, to young generation, like I said, now here's what I will say. To a younger generation, the millennials would say, there might be hardcore Led Zeppelin fans, but they all know Queen. They all knew Bohemian Rhapsody. They all know We Are the Champions. They'll know, no doubt they'll know Stairway to Heaven, but they won't, please.
But can they make love to the music with We Are Champions compared to the Immigrant Song?
Again, he's got a much wider base.
Okay.
I'll tell you, Freddie Mercury can not only make love to, Under Pressure, perhaps, but he can also make love to the techno music that was on before the show, William Friedkin's soundtrack of Cruising, because he might have been there. But by the way, let me add something else before you like this part. We haven't even talked about women. We haven't talked about the women front person, because I thought that. And how about this? I want to get your personal takes on these.
Okay.
Here are the ones I came up with off the top of my head. Gwen Stefani, Natalie Merchant for a short, right? Susanna Hoffs, from the Bangles. Chrissy Hind.
Chrissy Hines.
Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
Deborah Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Grace Slick.
Oh, even a double.
Janis Joplin.
There was, yes.
Yeah, I mean, those are, you think about those front people, it's like, wow, we were fortunate. We've been fortunate.
Very, very. Well, the 80s were amazing. I mean, my 80s.
They still are. They still are.
Yes, I mean, they're still, yeah. I mean,
in all seriousness, we still celebrate the 80s here 20, 30, 40 years later because the 80s, again, gave us such a sound when it comes
to... You finally got the number right, 2030. We celebrate the 80s, 2030.
Very good. So, Robert, let me ask you a question.
To me, hold on. I've got to say something in a second. Robert, to me, the 80s feel like 20 minutes ago. So the number 20 was correct. It feels like 20 years ago. It feels like 10 years ago. It feels like 5, and sometimes it feels like 50, depending on what I'm talking about as it pertains to the 80s. Politics feels like 100 years ago.
I was the queen of Aquanet.
Rock exists right now. I literally, before this show, played Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, guys and gals, Poison, all these great albums. It was so hard to narrow this down. Robert did. Medusa did as well. Now we're going to bring in our judges. Now they're going to vote to see who won topic number 1. And our judges will also be in the comment section, guys and gals. You will be voting as well. So let's bring in our first judge in the back. Kara, let us know who you vote for in this particular round and why.
Hi.
Hi, Kara. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet both of y'all. So both of you had really great points. But I have to say that my vote goes to Mr. Robert. I feel like he gave more of a in-depth definition as far as what a front man was, and he was very passionate about it. And I can't say that I disagree as far as the millennials, as far as what we know. Because, I mean, I am kind of slightly bit of a fan of Freddie, so...
Kara, thank you for voting. Okay, so we will tally out in the back. Mr. Kelly J. White, if you can please enter this virtual arena right now, let us know whose vote you are casting and why.
Thank you. I thought her argument was great.
Yeah.
Yes,
especially the outcome. The end result of that. Mr. White, go ahead.
Okay. First off, I did have a question for Medusa.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, is that the belt?
You mean the infamous, the original?
Yeah.
This is the one that I dropped in the trash. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I kind of thought.
The one that I was just on, was it Hidden Treasures or Lost Treasures?
Mick's offer didn't go over very well, did it?
No, he only offered me $5,000. I'm like, no.
You do realize that Kelly can't vote for you at this juncture. It can't happen. After all of that, it can't happen.
Come on. So okay, let's get down to the fact of the best frontman. Robert Plant versus Freddie Mercury. Me personally, I'm a Freddie Mercury guy all over the board, but that's not what this is about. This is how well you argued your point. And so the why, Medusa, I thought you had your ducks in a row. I thought it was short, sweet, to the point, kind of like your matches used to be. Robert, I think you did.
Wow, wait a minute, Kelly.
Hey,
really?
You went over. You were over.
Oh, you know what? You know what? My matches were short because it was the sign of the times. It was the era. However, we had longer matches back then than the women did today. So I'll take that as a compliment.
And please watch some of her footage in Japan, my friend. Great footage in Japan as well. Go ahead, Mr. White.
Robert, I think you offered a wide spectrum of defining a front man, but I didn't feel like you had argued for Freddie Mercury. So my vote does go to Medusa.
Good. No, absolutely. And you're a wrestling fan. Surprise.
Any more wrestling?
Surprise. But yeah, I got something to say though, but I'll wait till all of are the judges done yet?
We have one more judge. Guys and gals, but please say what you have to say now, Medusa, please.
Oh no. Because it might help Robert.
Okay. It's not, I was going to say, it's not about the Mohawk. I like that. I like
I want to see. I want to see what's underneath Robert's hat.
Oh.
Here.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Still the same. I just said still the same.
Of course, my favorite individual here was a judge. Go ahead, Robert, please.
By the way, when you're on the show that week, now I have to tell you, when we had the wrestlers on, I learned more. You talk about learning stuff. I learned of an appreciation. You know what struck me the most thing about I remember asking. I forgot who was there. I asked one of the being a novice. I said, when you take a folding chair, and you bash it over somebody's head, how do you do that? Like there's a trick. And he goes, you take the chair and you bash it over the guy's head. And it hit me. I go, yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, but you know what surprised me the most? I loved the week. I mean, I learned so much. I was shocked to find out that none of the wrestlers had health insurance. And I remember the answer. When I asked, I guess it's McMahon. I guess he was. I forgot to think of it. And his answer was like, "Oh, these people don't have health insurance. Look at come on, And he said, they make a lot of money."
Well, allegedly, the men did back then.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the answer. Really?
Yeah,
really?
That was the answer because it compensated. Though a lot of them were
independent contractors. They were all independent.
They were both They were all of us were IC contractors. However, a lot of them afterward they got smart and then they aligned themselves with Lloyd's of London, and then things changed from there. Yes,
but they had to pay for it themselves.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. It was, big money, but it was worth it because then a lot.
I didn't get any insurance, Robert, at all for watching the Knicks for 27 years of my life. I should have. I'm still suffering.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You weren't making money for them. She was.
Yes, I was. I was making money for them. I was buying tickets. I was buying tickets.
Sure.
So I was helping Mr. Dolan.
You were reselling them. You were reselling them and then making money off of that. You were.
I look like a guy that would resell. I never resold anything. I stopped watching them though. I did something better. I stopped tuning in and watching the Knicks. Guys and gals, we have another judge, Mr. Eric Heron, who's going to vote and let us know who he votes for in this particular round and why. Good sir.
Well, hey Medusa, how you doing? Hello, Mr. Wall. Welcome to the green room and welcome back, sir. How y'all doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Right on.
Hey, I love that hat, Robert. Love that hat. Now, let's talk about this for a second. You've got Robert Plant. You've got Freddie Mercury, two of literally the #greatest frontmen of all time. Who's better? Who's better?
Who made the better argument, Mr. Heron?
That's what I'm going for. This argument is short, sweet, to the point, because I do think Mr. Wall gave a little bit more in depth about what a frontman was. And he's right. You do have your hardcore fans these days that do know what Zeppelin is and what Zeppelin was about. But I think everybody and their brother, even today, knows who Queen is. My vote's got to go for Mr. Wall. 3 points, sir.
3 points for Mr. Heron. Guys, I'll give you a quick tally. It is 6-3 in favor of Robert for now. Now, Robert, we turn it over.
Now comes the online vote.
Yes. Great transition. Guys, amazing transition from Mr. Robert Wall. Mindy Red says, Eric, please tally this as you do, my friend. I appreciate it. Mindy says I vote for Robert. Okay, 1 point for Robert, guys and gals. Sean, you cannot vote for Freddie, although I know who you mean. Do I have to be technical about it? Do I have to be technical about it? Should I? Here we go, Robert. He cleared it up. Robert gets another vote. Sure.
Thank you.
Her channel comes in. Her page.
All right. More votes coming down the pike right now here live. Diggy Damon says, I would love to see some long form with Medusa or Mr. Wall. Okay. Talk to us about that, and definitely happen. It is fun already in here. Absolutely, guys and gals. It is fun. And we do this live. 150 straight episodes, guys, of booking as amazing talent, luminaries from all walks of life. We'd love to have conversations with these great individuals. Some who I've worked for and written for are also going to be in this tournament, guys. Some you have not seen, so stay tuned. More votes. Let's see who is voting for either Medusa or Robert. Let's see. Dakota Benson says, I love Medusa, but Freddie can't be beat. Robert gets my vote. Another point from Dakota Benson to Robert. Johnny McKinney concurs, and he also votes Robert. Rail Stalker Adventures votes for Medusa. So one more vote for Medusa.
Here comes the overnight mail-in ballots. You watch.
Phil.
Wait a minute.
Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology. Now I told all you guys to mail them in, so
there you go. Medusa gave a more detailed explanation. I got to say this though. Today I was proud of myself. It was the first time I went to the PO and was the first person in line. Every time I try to be the first person in line in the post office, there's a bevy of people that bum rush me like there's something at the Truman Show, like they know I want to be the first in line. Today I was for the first time in my life. Wanted to share that.
Aw, you had to stand in line with everybody else.
Yeah. Robert, to be honest, you can sleep better at night knowing that information, right? You feel better knowing that?
Oh, I feel real better. Even though you'll be texting me in the morning, leaving me a voicemail about motivational tactics.
Which you love. Which you love. I leave it because you love it. That's why.
Where do you live, Medusa? What part of the country?
I live in Florida, north of Tampa, on a beautiful farm right on the Gulf. Like,
one more for Medusa.
So way from the city.
One more for Medusa. Some more votes, guys and gals. Remember, 13,000, a trip for 2 degrees on the line over here. This is what it's all about, and we thank the studio that has always been in
I
favor
ride my
of yours
Harley.
truly, who wants to make sure that when they watch these debate matches, they get the best of the best, and here they are. Medusa and Robert epitomize that. Let's keep going.
Oh,
WW Red Rabbit says Medusa gets my vote. Okay. More votes. Let's see. Jeff Reederer says he votes for Medusa. Another vote. Alexander says he votes for Robert on this one. Okay. I see that. Pete Sharpie says putting Avi in his place. I don't know about that. We're having a lot of fun, Pete. I believe Freddie takes this one. Robert had a better debate. Somebody puts me in my place. It can be Robert. Why not? Julie Hall, 2 incredible talents. Medusa was great, but voting for Robert. Another vote for Robert. Gus Anselmo does not vote. Has a good comment, but I don't see your vote. Joe says Robert has my vote. Karen concurs and says Robert has my vote. Karen Price, guys and gals. Christy says she votes for Medusa. Okay. And Randy concurs as well with Medusa. And yet another vote for Medusa from Mortis. 1 vote for Medusa. Okay. I think we're done with round 1. Let me see if I missed anyone. John Red, I can't get everyone, guys and gals. 53 pages, 7-figure views on average. It's hard to get everyone. But John Red, I am going to vote for Medusa in this first round. Okay, so this is tight right now, guys. I will read you. Remember, it's cumulative after 3 topics, so let's see where we are now. Julie says she votes for Medusa. Okay. Christy says voting. You can't vote for Medusa twice. Already started voting once. What are you trying to do here? Lester Cook says the fix is in. The fix is in.
They mailed in several ballots.
Lester Cook votes for Robert. Okay. Phil says Harley's rule. Yes, they do. All right, guys. Let's see. Let's see what we got now.
Is that a vote?
It should be. It should be a vote. It should be a vote.
That's a vote.
That's a vote.
That person vote already once?
You know what, Robert?
I'm counting votes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins here. You can ride on the back of my pink Hardy. You can be bitch on my bike.
Whoa. Guys and gals and pals. Like to be a fly on the wall there. Right now, let's give us a final tally of what we have after round number 1. It is tight. It is close, guys and gals. Right now, Robert is in the lead 15-13. We're going to start topic number 2. Let me give you the rundown, if Robert is okay with it. The most versatile film directors of all time. And as a film director, guys and gals, I can tell you the most common way to kick off a career is by choosing a couple of specific genres and sticking to them. However, some filmmakers have challenged themselves over time by embracing a wide array of films, different categories, often mastering every one of them, and proving to themselves to be incredibly versatile. Some directors find their niche and never leave it, but it's even more impressive when filmmakers attack a more diverse filmography. that illustrates just how accomplished they are. So with that, Robert now will go first. He will make a case, I hope for one of them, William Wyler or Michael Curtis as the most versatile film director of all time. When Robert is done, Medusa will make a case for Nick Cassavetes as the most versatile film director of all time. Robert, are you ready?
Oh, okay. First of all, with apologies to obviously Steven Spielberg, Rob Reiner too. You know, Rob Reiner my buddy came out of the gates. You know, his first movies were, nobody came out of the gates more than this. His first, it was This Is Spinal Tap is his first movie. Then he does The Sure Thing with John Cusack. Then he does one of the great Stand By Me. Stand By Me, it was a great movie. Then he does A Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally, The American President. Misery. So Rob, those are different movies too.
Very good. Yes. Yeah.
And Ron Howard is another one who's had been.
Oh my gosh! Right. Steven Spielberg, all of them.
Yeah. And of course, Steven is.
Yes.
Spielberg. But now I'm older, so I'm gonna. And I'm afraid I'm gonna date myself, so I'll lose this round by a lot. But being a film guy, in the business and I grew up watching, and I do watch black and white movies, which nobody, it's interesting because, it's things that now when I talk to my friends, the millennials, my goddaughter, it's like, if it happened before they were born, it doesn't count. It's like, what? Art doesn't count? So here, there's a couple of guys. First of them, Ron Howard is his friend, and we talked about versatility. It means somebody could do different types of movies and pull them off, because like Hitchcock basically made Hitchcock movies.
Yes,
one type. That's what he made. Tarantino, for his greatest, makes Tarantino movies.
Yes.
But if you saw guys like Billy Wilder, who did everything from Some Like It Hot to Sunset Boulevard to Stalag 17 to Witness for the Prosecution to The Apartment to Double Indemnity,
good Lord,
all over. But the old guys, the old guys had a bigger advantage because it was a job, and he did 3-4 movies a year. So the two guys I talk about are William Wyler, who I'm afraid most of the audience won't know, but he was the very first recipient of the AFI Life Achievement Award. He was, I think he won like 5 Oscars, this guy. He was before.
Yes.
William Wyler's movies are, where's my list here? Okay, listen to this list. Now, he goes everywhere from just starting in the 30s. So he does everything from The Best Years of Our Lives, Funny Girl with Streisand, Roman Holiday with Audrey Hepburn, The Big Country, one of my favorite westerns, Ben-Hur, Friendly Persuasion, Mrs. Miniver, Jezebel, Dodsworth, and The Westerner, which brought Gary Cooper. That's westerns everywhere else. Okay, that's romantic comedy. Michael Curtiz was another guy of that period, a little later. But listen to this range of Michael Curtiz stuff. It is everything from, how about in 1 year? Okay, listen to this one. He does The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn, Captain Blood with Errol Flynn, The Comancheros with John Wayne, King Creole, which may be the best Elvis ever did when he's the boxer in New Orleans, White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Eddie Kay, We're No Angels with Humphrey Bogart, Jim Thorpe, All-American with Burt Lancaster, Young Man with a Horn, Kirk Douglas. But in 1 year, the same year, he won the Oscar for these two movies. Am I talking about the versatility?
That's versatility.
Yankee Doodle Dandy, same year, he did these two movies. Yankee Doodle Dandy and Casablanca.
Wow.
I'm done.
Guys and gals, Robert.
Wow. How can I? Lord have mercy. You're so knowledgeable. That's your backgrounding. That's impressive. Impressive. I can't even touch that, but I can tell you.
White flag or no? Yes.
What? Shush.
Waving the white flag. I'm asking.
Who, me?
Waving the white flag. Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
You said you can't top it. No, I'm asking. Are you waving the white flag?
Oh, hell no.
No, you're not. Okay.
I would never. No. I would never throw in the towel. I'm sorry.
Has anybody on the show ever waved the white flag?
No.
Okay.
No one has waved the white flag, guys, because it's all about the pride and the prize. But I am going to kick it over to Medusa right now, guys and gals, who's going to make a case for Nick Cassavetes as the most versatile film director of all time in a 3, in a 2.
All right. So Nick Cassavetes is, I've been a big fan of his. I don't know a lot, but I know enough for me to always want to watch his films. And my favorite film of all time, whenever it comes on the television, whatever, he did Notebook. I mean, from Notebook to Face Off to The Astronaut. In fact, how can you, I mean, to me, that's very versatile. You know, and I think he had, and I believe he was, had something to do with, didn't he direct Entourage? I'm pretty sure. So, yes. And so this was really.
I would say, by the way, you'll get a kick out of this. Entourage, Mark Wahlberg came up to me and goes, it was directly because of Arliss. He said it was.
What?
He said, Mark Wahlberg said Entourage came directly out of Arliss.
No way.
Yeah, he said, we watched Arliss and said, let's do a show about, because we watched you.
So that's a knockoff off of Arliss?
No, I mean, not a knockoff. It was an influence. That's okay.
Inspired.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, so I call back my 3 minutes. Just kidding. Oh my God.
One point off.
You have up until 10 minutes. You can have as many as 10 minutes, Medusa. As many as 10.
Oh, well, good. I got a lot of hot air. So, okay. So this was very difficult for me because two of my favorite movies, and I'm glad you said Black and White, but this is my all-time favorite, and is All About Eve. All About Eve. Are you kidding? Oh my God, I got you. So All About Eve is one of I watch that whenever I can. I bought everything I could about All About Eve, and I memorized that whole speech. That speech, it reminded me about everything. So anyway, it was very hard for me from All About Eve to Cassavetes to Stanley Kubrick. So I chose Nick, and because of all of his versatility in those movies, and Notebook really sold me on that because it was a movie that was so well directed that didn't have any TNA, anything blowing up. There wasn't any, it was just a well-written movie. And I think he deserves so much.
By the way, you should know this week it was announced that they're doing a Broadway musical of The Notebook.
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you. So okay, let's go, Robert.
Little story for you. So Viper Room, Nick Cassavetes had an argument with someone. I was right there with my literary agent who said, I thought your dad, and he said this, and he was wrong for saying this. He said, I thought your dad was a hack director. Because I was there 5 feet away.
Nick said that about Robert's dad?
No. Some patron said that about Nick's father, who was also a director. John Cassavetes.
Yeah, John.
And here's what Nick said. Nick reacted to this in such a manner.
But Nick was in the movie Face Off and Blow. That's what it was, right? He was in it as an actor. Yeah.
But in this establishment, his dad was being insulted. So he walked up to the patron, and instead of getting mad, instead of getting timid, he says, you know what? I'll never be my father. And I could tell you that I'm the only person here in Hollywood who's not trying to follow my father's footsteps, because I never can. Nobody can ever follow in their dad's footsteps. That inspired me. I thought he really took what a classy thing to say. What a classy thing to say, guys and gals.
And look what he did.
Absolutely. Guys and gals, of course, this was our second topic, most versatile directors. Now we'll bring in our judges who will let us know who they think won and made the better argument for most versatile directors. Let's bring in Kara. Let us know
Robert,
who you
made my night.
Hey. Okay,
Hello, I'm back.
Both of y'all are very passionate when you're on screen. So actually this time it was really hard for me to choose. That's what I was just telling my husband. I don't know what to do because both of y'all made really good points.
Well, you can rejoice, Kara, on one page alone, 1,000 comments already on one page alone, guys and gals. Thank you again for being the engine. Kara, you were watching in the back. Go ahead.
I think with this one, I'm actually going to have to go with Medusa. I agree with her as far as the versatility with the Notebook versus Blow. I mean, those are on two separate ends of the spectrum.
Yes.
Look at the reaction.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to choose.
What a beat.
You're going to have to go. Hey, easy.
All right. So Kara votes for Medusa. That is
Thank you, Kara.
Of course, guys, we'll bring in Mr. Kelly J. White. Having a lot of fun here, guys and gals. Amazing chemistry between Medusa and Robert Wall. If you can't see that,
I'm still at the Broadway with Notebook.
That's okay. That's fine, guys and gals. Let's bring in Kelly G. White to see who he votes for. Although, I don't know, Kelly, who are you voting for? Let us know.
Well, thank you for asking, Avi. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
This one was tougher
Sure.
for me because unfortunately I like a lot of different movies, but I don't delve in. I mean, I'd be hard pressed to name like 5 directors. So with that said, wow.
Well, that's good. That's good because if you're not a fan of films, who do you think made a better argument? Who would you rather watch movies of based on Robert's analysis and Medusa's analysis?
Yeah, on that, I think, Medusa, I think Robert just out-knowledged you on this one. He was very deft,
very
to the point, accurate. You could just
Poignant.
tell he dug from a well that's very deep for him. So I've got to give him my 3 points on this one.
3 points from Kelly J. White, a very intelligent man as well. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you for your service, Mr. White. Thank you for your service, and thank you for Mr. Eric Heron's service as well. Mr. Heron, who do you vote for and why?
Thank
good
you,
sir?
you two. Yeah,
Oh,
thank you, you two.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for that. When you talk about versatile directors, I mean, these two are definitely at the top of your game here. And I have to, as much as I hate to agree with Mr. White, I do think Rob Reiner's catalog is much more diverse and much more versatile when you're talking about The Princess Bride to A Few Good Men.
You're right.
You're talking about Princess Bride to A Few Good Men.
7 films right off the bat that were hits.
Exactly. When Harry Met Sally. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So once again, Mr. Wall, congratulations. Great argument. 3 points to you. And Miss Michelli, I mean, those are awesome arguments in and of itself. I mean, I've never seen The Notebook, but I might now. You never know. You never know.
Oh,
3
you'll
points
fall
to
in
Mr.
love
Wall.
all over again.
You're not watching The Notebook. Stop lying. Guys and gals, Eric Heron voting for Mr. Robert Wall. Thank you so much. We turn it over now to the viewers, and let me remind you guys, only one time will this happen after round 1. Let me make this quick announcement. Guys and gals, and a little station identification as well, in case you want to see the scrolling banner. Here it is, guys and gals. Our 150th consecutive episode. If you go to www.thenewnetwork.com, all you got to do is go to www.theknawk.com. Who knew? We knew, and so do you. That is 60 plus shows featuring luminaries who have shows alongside yours truly once a month, regularly. Hall of Famers, legends, champions, Oscar winners, all across the board. It's not just about the name or their key. It's not just about the name or the fame. It's about their game. It's about what they stand for. They have a lot of different topics we delve into. That is on thenewnetwork.com with a K. Who knew? We knew, and so do you. So with that, guys and gals, we're going to go to you right now, the engine that makes this entire thing go on this show. So with that, let's turn it over. And remember, after round number 1, there'll be only a stipulation that'll be available after round number 1. Some competitors that have been eliminated will get a chance to come back and enter the field. That will only happen, that lifeline, so to speak, will only happen after round number 1. So who knows? All right, let's see. Let's bring in our voters now. Johnny says Medusa. He votes for Medusa. 1 vote for Medusa. Okay. Phil says my vote is for Medusa. She gave specific examples of her subject. Robert spoke of many other directors. Phil. Okay. We have more comments here and votes. This is such a barn burner. Yeah, thank you. And you guys can watch us. Watch us every Saturday night, guys and gals, to watch more.
Barn burners had a vote.
No, that's not a vote. Not a vote. But it is a barn burner. He's right about that. Okay, more votes, guys. We need votes. Let's see. I love your comments. Don't get me wrong, but let's get some votes. WW Right Rabbit says, me and Joe love The Notebook, so my vote edges to Medusa. Okay, another vote for Medusa.
Oh.
All right, I know. I'm trying to not look at the reactions right now. Let's see.
Casablanca and Yankee Doodle Dandy in the same year. Casablanca and Yankee Doodle Dandy in the same year. Versatile.
Oh, it's getting heated. I love it.
Notebook to the blow. Whoa.
Casablanca, Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Notebook to the blow.
Notebook's not with those 2 movies.
Hey,
to the moon, Alice.
Hey, hold on a second. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura. All in 1 year from Jim Carrey, 94. All in 1 calendar year. Come on, that's amazing. I will go with Robert. I'm just trying to break it up here. Jared says I will go with Robert. Okay, very good. That was incredible that Jim Carrey did that all in 1 year, by the way. 1 calendar year. Amazing stuff. Karen says Robert gave me so many examples after one after another. In quick succession, I vote for Robert. Thank you very much, Karen. Joey Bag of Donuts. Okay, I vote for Medusa because as many as Rob had were different. The styles of cinematography changed for each film as well as subject matter. Joey Bag of Donuts, thank you so much for your intelligent comments and votes. You guys are all very smart. We appreciate you. Karen says, voting for Medusa this time. Ben Dowdy is simply shouting, Reiner! With an exclamation point. Thank you so much. Okay, another vote. Let's see if we have more. Julie Hall says, crazy wild debate. Love old movies. Very difficult choice, but Robert won by a thread. Julie Hall votes for Robert. Always on the up and up with our voters. We love that. Rail Stalker Adventures. My pick is for my friend Medusa.
Yeah, well,
Friend.
That's okay.
Everyone calls me their friend. I don't even know them.
You
know how.
I vote for the Oscars for my friends.
Lollipop Gomez says Medusa times 1,000. I will count that as one vote, much to Lollipop Gomez's chagrin. That is one vote, not 1,000. But thank you so much for offering.
I'll take 1,000.
Shooting for the stars. We appreciate that. Medusa all the way. Medusa gets a vote, and Julie Cabanis concurs. Medusa gets a vote as well. Lester Cook says Robert gets my vote. So 2 for Medusa and 1 more for Robert. We have another one from Bubba Brewer. I vote for Medusa. She kept it to that one director I will never see Notebook. Robert gave me a history lesson. Interesting comments there from Bubba Brewer. Thank you, Bubba. We appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Dakota said Medusa gets my vote this round. Beautiful response from beautiful women. Dakota Benson. Flattery, guys and gals. Flattery. Let's see. Kimberly says Medusa. She votes for Medusa. Okay, so another vote for Medusa. Gus says, I have to say I vote Medusa, but Robert did an incredible job too. From Gus. Okay. From Digi Damon. And Robert Wall. I'm voting for Robert, says John Dalen. Okay.
Whoa.
Jared Cunningham also votes for Robert Wall. Jared, nice to see you. High school brother. Karen says, Robert gave me so many examples, one after another in quick succession. I vote for Robert. Jared, I hope your post-surgery op is going well.
She already voted.
She did vote?
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember. Yes, she already voted. She voted.
Okay, so we will take care of that. Guys, I'm going to count down. I think that's all the votes. If I've missed any, let me know. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys and gals. So right now, here's where we stand after 2 rounds. Last votes are in. If you're voting right now, too late. It's too late. This is interesting. Medusa's up 29-27. This is close. And we have one last topic, 29-27. Jeff Reeder just put in Robert, but after the buzzer, man. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you, Jeff? All right, guys and gals, let's announce this third topic, and then we are out of here with this topic. And remember, we're not done with the green room, guys. Much more to come. A great preview, recap of some great stuff. So stick around right after this match because we are not done. Robert and Medusa will be, guys and gals, and we'll thank them. In all seriousness, all joking aside, we're having a lot of fun, but these are 2 really special human beings that are great, and I can't wait to see who wins this match. Either way, they're both winners. I know how that sounds, but it's true. Third topic, guys and gals, critical thought. I will not give you a long monologue, but I will mention this. Philosophical questions are an effective tool to stimulate and develop critical thought. I bring that up in the workshop I've been teaching for years, all the time. To examine profound matters like free will and human nature, the source of value and happiness, ethics, love, logic, knowledge, and the meaning of life is essential. We're preparing our children to enter a society full of questions and questionable ideas. Consequently, it is our responsibility to train them to think critically and above all seek truth when asking the deep questions that arise in their own hearts. That being said, Medusa will kick things off and give us the thoughts on the following. Is logic a created concept? When Medusa is finished, Robert will let us know if there's such a thing as perfection. Medusa, are you ready to go?
I think so. Is logic a creative concept?
A created concept, yes. Yeah.
I guess, I mean, what would Mr. Spock do without logic? Really? Right? So logic. We could sit here to argue, to beg to differ, and what I say and what you think could be logically the same or different. I mean, through this whole debate, was it logic or was it a concept? Was it, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's so open. It's so vast. It's so, I mean, it's an approach to social philosophy that focuses on society and culture to attempt to reveal, critique, and challenge power structures of things. And just, yeah, I guess that's it.
Absolutely, guys and gals. Again, we try to give you guys a smorgasbord of great variety. We've had a lot of fun. There's no doubt. Mr. Robert Wall, perfection. Is there such a thing?
No.
I'd love to answer Medusa. I love your
what?
What's your answer about logic? I just thought you You were so honest about it. It was great because you talked about Spock, and I thought that was funny. And the thing about
What would Spock do?
well, but keep in mind, Spock doesn't allow for emotion. All the logic. It's not, and that's where human beings, where the heart comes in. Spock does not. You give that, but it doesn't negate everything you said. I'm just saying.
No.
If there's such a thing as perfection,
It's overrated.
well, yeah, for a point. The thing about perfect, yeah, you can be perfect in certain areas. For example,
It's boring.
A bowler can bowl a perfect game, right? You know, and you can have a perfect moment. Each of us individually can say that, you know, when I met him, her, whatever, when I was with my parents, when I was with my whatever, my child, I can have that. To me was a perfect moment. So that can happen, but keep in mind, again, these are emotions, because what's perfect to you not necessarily going to be perfect to me.
No.
Especially artistically. I'll give you an example. For me, I know friends, we talked movies earlier, and you know, some people, I have friends that think, you know, most guys, you know, 2001 is a perfect movie. It bores the living shit out of me. 2001 to me is duller than dirt. I got to watch Keir Dullea for 2 hours with a machine. Okay, but to other people, it's perfect. And I get that. But perfection is totally in the eyes of who's doing it. You know, unless, again, we're talking about a perfect game or something. But I'm reminded of a date. May 26th, 1959. Harvey Haddix of the Pittsburgh Pirates is facing the San Francisco Giants. He throws 9 innings of perfect baseball, 27 up, 27 down. However, his team hasn't scored a run. So it's still 0-0, and they go to extra innings. And he throws a perfect 10th inning. And he throws a perfect 11th inning. And he throws a perfect 12th inning. So now it's 36 up, 36 down. A perfect game and a third of another perfect game. He loses the game in the 13th inning, 1-0. Afterwards, reporters came by him and said, "Was that the best game you ever pitched?" He looked the guy in the eye and said, "That's the best fucking game anyone's ever pitched."
Right.
And he lost. What is perfection?
That's perfection.
Lost in the backdrop of all this is we do this celebrity tournament, guys and gals, for a myriad of reasons. But number one is conversation. I don't do controversy. We do conversation. And bringing people together that maybe haven't seen one another for a while, in the case of Robert and Medusa, or others who've never met. And doing this opens up conversation and discussion. And also gives us a chance to talk about things that maybe perhaps aren't spoken of, because I don't want to put people in boxes on this show. Whether you're a pro wrestler, whether you're a writer, an luminary like Robert, whether you're a great talent and motivator like Medusa, so many things that we aren't defined by anything singular. We don't put people in a box. As you've seen tonight and every other Saturday night, everyone is well equipped to talk about just about any topic that they'd like. They do their research on, because we are more than what sometimes society would make us as. That's my soapbox, and I'm off it. So now the judges will render their votes and let us know who they're voting for and why, starting with Kara. Thank you very much again for judging. And Eric and Kelly, let us know who you're voting for, please, Kara.
You're such a great storyteller, Robert.
So you both did great again. But I really enjoyed how Mr. Robert explained perfection, and the way that he explained it, it was almost, to me, it came out almost like a poem, almost beautiful, because it's kind of like beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Would you say it was perfect? Was it perfect?
To me, I feel like it was perfect.
Oh, bless you.
Like,
he spoke to us. Yeah, it was good.
It perfectly explained perfection.
But he wasn't perfect.
No, nobody.
I just had to say that.
I stumbled.
I'm kidding. Good Lord.
I felt like it really spoke to me.
It was great.
Like, job well done on that. Like, you explained it great.
Thank you.
Kara votes for Robert. Yes, guys and gals, of course. Man, that's incredible, Mr. Kelly G. White. Please let us know who you vote for in this last round and why.
Okay. Wow. That was one heck of a topic, guys.
Yeah.
I kind of envy you getting those. very juicy, very juicy. I would have loved to have debated that myself. On this one, I agree with Robert that Medusa, I think you were very honest in your approach, but I think he had more of a linear thread, a beginning, a middle, and an end that actually carried through on is there such a thing as perfection? So unfortunately, as much as I would love to Medusa, I got to give these 3 points to Robert.
Yeah, that's all right.
No bias, but yeah, Kelly White, again, thank you for rendering your vote.
It was good, Kelly. You're right. It was good.
Again, both are incredible human beings doing this live, guys. I mean, come on. That's amazing. Thank you, Joey Bag of Donuts. I tried to brainstorm at 2 in the morning and then crash at 3 and then lather, rinse, and repeat because I want to give everyone the best I can. Hard topics without question because these are intelligent human beings. Mr. Eric Heron, you, my friend, are an intelligent human being. Let us know who you vote for and why, good sir.
And that is the first time anybody's ever said I was an intelligent human being. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So logic versus perfection. This was a nail biter of a debate in and of itself. And, Mr. Robert Wall, hats off to you because you so eloquently elaborated. There actually is nothing as perfection. What you said, what's perfect for you may not be perfect for me. That 13 inning game, somebody wound up losing because they didn't wind up throwing a perfect game. And Medusa, right off the bat, I mean, you swung and you may not thought anything. You thought you made contact, but I think you hit it for the fence because Spock was logic as creative. He was the straight man to Kirk's foil. So yeah, logic can be a creative factor. And I think there's a point there behind that. So actually, I'm going to say Medusa Michelli gets 3 points from me, Avi.
Gets Eric's 3 points. Thank you for voting, Eric. Appreciate that. Leonard Nimoy was one heck of a poet.
I was going to go into a whole dissertation about Spock, but I thought people don't want to frickin' hear that. I'll just.
But no, I don't agree with Robert because he was fluid and so were you. I'm not voting here. Thank God I'm not voting because it's really too hard. But nobody over here, guys and gals, is stumbling and mumbling and fumbling and bumbling. They're so clear. They're so concise. I appreciate what you guys are providing us here live. So with that, we turn it over to the engine that makes this thing go. Our amazing audience. Let's see who they vote for. Gus has a manifesto here. I'm kidding, Gus. I vote Robert this round. I'm such a huge Medusa supporter, but dude, it was a perfect point for Robert. Incredible job, man. I believe it, no bias, because I respect everyone here and love Robert's around here a lot. You both did so incredible tonight. I hope to see you both again. It's so awesome having you guys here tonight. Thank you, Gus Anselmo. We appreciate you and write as much as you'd like. Thank you. Write to your heart's content. That's what you have to do when you are writing. You have to write. So we have another vote for Robert. Okay. Christy says, Robert got me this time. My vote is for Robert with a couple of heart emojis as well. All right. Awesome.
Thank you.
Phil Donahue, I vote for Robert. So well defined. Thank you, Phil, for your votes. We appreciate that. Karen Calabretta says, Robert explained perfection by saying there is no perfection. So he expressed that it doesn't exist. My vote goes to Robert. Thank you guys and gals again for your votes. Okay, we have more. Karen Price says, I agree with you, Eric. Okay, let us know who you're voting for, Karen. I would appreciate that to make it official. And Dowdy votes for Robert. Thank you. I am not superhuman. It's as I always say, the sweat is my sweet. It's all about doing what you love, and what you love will reward you, hopefully. Perfection is something created by humans. Therefore, it's inherently flawed. Great. Who are you voting for? But we do appreciate your comment.
Why, people?
Julie votes for Robert this time. Thank you so much, Julie. We appreciate that. Okay, let's a couple more votes, and I think we are done here with this amazing debate. Lollipop says Medusa has my vote. Both great, though. Absolutely, they're both great. Sure. Lester Cook, Medusa. Okay, another vote for Medusa. Randy Pritchard said, loved Robert. Enough to vote for him. Let us know. Let's have another one here.
That's a vote.
I think that's a vote. Yeah. All right. That's a vote.
That's a vote.
Jared Cunningham says, my vote is for Robert. There are perfect games, but different ways you can get there. It's the old history teacher in me. I need it to be exact. Give us a vote. Make it official. All right. Bubba Brewer said, like I said, very hard topic and being a Pirate fan. Oh, boy, I'm sorry about that, Bubba. I knew what Robert was talking about. My vote goes to Robert. I'm kidding. Pittsburgh Pirates are fine. It's the Steelers that need help this season. All right. WW Right Rabbit says both did such an amazing job. I'm blown away by this match. This time I have to go with Robert on this one. Sorry, Medusa. Okay.
Sister. All right.
Karen Price votes for Robert. Okay. All right, guys and gals. Let's see if there's more. Julie Cabinet says, I vote for Robert. Johnny McKinney, Robert Wall. Dakota Benson, Robert.
Killed it.
Had an amazing response. True points, Mr. Robert. Guys and gals, I'm going to count this thing down over here right now. Mr. Will 11 votes for Medusa. I want to count all of your votes. No problem. As much as I can. Thank you. Chad says, I vote for Robert this round. He rolled out so smooth and on point, but Medusa brought up some great points as well. Yes, quality over quantity sometimes. You never know. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see what we have here now to wind this thing down. It's the final countdown. Yes, it is. Robert, not sure if you caught my vote. I did now, Jenny. Thank you very much. Julie Hall says Robert as well. And I did get Mr. Will. I did get your vote for Medusa already. Thank you so much. Randy says, love it. Robert has my vote. Okay. And Digi says, I'm a Trekkie fan, so Medusa. Barn burner. Okay. Medusa. And Jeff Reeder goes with Robert as well. Thank you, Eric, in the back, for tallying everything. I appreciate that. Gina, great points by both. Going to go with Robert on this one. Judges and the viewers, all of you guys are amazing. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll read it out loud. I will ask Medusa to hang around. I'll talk to Robert momentarily. But guys, final score is 54 votes for Robert Wall. Medusa with 36. Robert Wall advances to round number 2 of the Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament in a few months in the fall with some of the incredible luminaries that we have here, guys and gals. Medusa did an incredible job as well. There's no doubt. Conversations were had, and that's what really counts. Before I bid Medusa adieu, I'll put you backstage, but before I even do that, if you guys want to have a moment together, feel free, because you guys had great chemistry and still obviously do.
Thank you so much. It was great to see you, and I couldn't have been happier to be here with you. You were great. I was impressed. I would have voted for you, except for I wouldn't have voted for the Cassavetes one, but the other two I could have voted for you.
Come on, Cassavetes is great. Okay, but Robert, thank you so much. You haven't missed a beat. You're amazing. You're a great soul, and it's just so great knowing you. And thank you for this opportunity. And keep telling the stories like you do, and keep doing what you do.
I'm going to put Medusa backstage for one moment. I want to have a conversation with her really quickly. Robert, man, thank you for joining us again. You did great. You're a humble human being, and I love our conversations as well from the heart.
I have to say, after watching the perfection thing, I really left out something, and I don't know if it should have been the fact that I don't believe. I think that you really have tough to say what is perfection. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't always strive for it. I mean, there's you may not reach it, for whatever it is, but you sure can work 150% to strive for it. You're not going to reach it. And that's okay. That is okay. Remember, in the first line of the Declaration, in order to form a more perfect union, so
perfection equals complacency, and I'm glad that it's not improbable. It's impossible.
Perfection is also organic. And it's a living thing.
It is. And not meant for us as people, but man, a perfect conversation, because that's what it was tonight. Thank you, my friend. I will be in touch very soon. And you moved on to round number 2. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Class personified, Robert Wall, guys and gals. Class personified. From one to another. Let me bring in Medusa over here. Medusa, you were thanking Robert Wall for this opportunity. I put this thing together. Me.
I know you did. You're such a swerve. Robert was so smooth. You're such a swerve.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? Explain.
Pro wrestling. There's a swerve to you with everything. But you're very smooth on the mic. By the way, you give good mic. Anyway, you give good mic.
So I want you to know something. I'm one of the most honest, direct people in this world. You will never get anything but honesty out of me. I do like showmanship when we're on air. I'm the quietest person in the world behind the scenes. But I was so flabbergasted when you popped in like this bundle of energy, but also backed up with intellect as well. I like that you used quality over quantity. Like, you didn't have to be long-winded and go 10 minutes. You made your points. You hammered them. You were passionate about them. And it spoke to our audience.
I've learned in debates and politics that we don't like to talk about, though. Sometimes short is sweet. You know what I'm saying? You get to the point, you say what you have to do, and say what you mean. But when it comes to pro wrestling and you cut a promo, sometimes you can be a little long-winded, and there's a storyline from a beginning, a high spot, and an end in a promo. So, but with being up against Robert Wall, I was starstruck. He's amazing, talented, and he hands down, he should have, a director, oh yeah, he had it hands down. But I think our conversation right there, for the love of black and white, like All About Eve, and then he had me when he told me about Notebook. The whole thing was so good. The dynamic was
good
impressive.
Presentation from both. Look at here. Amazing job, Medusa. Absolute legend. Yes. You know, the thing, guys, part of this network is we don't just, again, go for resumes. We go for people and what they stand for. And you stand for a lot. Like for me to say after a week of conversing with you that you already become a friend, that's from the heart. That's not shtick. We don't do I'm not doing shtick now. Like, let my hair down officially, which is what I like to do in the second half of the show. This is not shtick. If I can get this thing out of here. It's from the heart, man. You are just so positive about what you do, and you are tireless with your efforts. You've got an incredible podcast. Please talk about it, please.
Oh, thank you. Well, 20 years of pro wrestling, and I'm still involved doing things with WWE as a Hall of Famer and on the, working with the legend stuff. And then I drove monster trucks for 20 years. So, and, just 40 years of entertainment and beating my body up. I'm slowly transitioning into other things. And I'm married to an amazing man, a command sergeant major, retired after 31 years of the Army.
Please thank him for his service for me. Please.
Oh, I will. But he is my logic. I should have used this. Like, he is my logic. He is my reasoning. He is what makes it perfect when it isn't perfect. What it even meant. Right?
Do I come close to that, or am I close?
You're a close friend. Yes.
When it comes to perfection.
What? Perfection.
Perfection.
You're
staying on brand. I'm staying on brand.
You're good at voicemails. You should you should have like your own little things where people can plug in and listen to a morning motivational. Because
Mom and Dad, I made it. I was told I'm good at voicemails. Yes, I shot for something so high.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying. People will pay for that crap. So yeah, they will. They will.
But you do. No, in all honesty, though, when I listen to your podcast, again, doing some research. I like how you just have everyone relaxed. Everyone has a good time. You're the last person in the world that's judgmental. You really kind of have conversations that you relate to everybody.
You gotta have. Well, I have been around the world. I have experienced a lot. I mean, from A to Z, and from every tone from life to, I've been in it all, and I've seen it all, and probably almost done it all. But so my transitioning into the podcast, 5 Minute Mondays, Paving the Way, Trash Talk, actually. And so that's on YouTube. And then I just got done writing my biography, which is
oh, yes.
Here.
Yes. I want to give you a solo layout so people could see that, if you could put it up here, guys and gals.
Oh.
Right here.
The Woman Who Would Be King. And the foreword is by Paul Heyman. So a very, very dear friend of mine, Paul Heyman, and he is just incredible. And it just came out about 3 months ago. So that's doing pretty good. And I'm very happy. And there's a lot of stories that I'll take to my grave.
Thank you guys for the compliments. And thank you for a compliment.
Abby is great. He's very talented. I learned so much about you. Like, I cannot believe this guy has this resume behind him. I'm like, wow.
No,
there's so much to you.
Takes a village. You know how it is. We got a lot of great people around us. Gus, thank you. I've been dealing with complacency lately. I broke free tonight. Monday's a new beginning. Avi's been a motivator. Listen, don't. I'm not your motivator. I am an ear to listen to. But guys and gals, again, thank you for joining us. Medusa, we're going to be doing a lot of work together. There is a stipulation in a loophole. Maybe you'll be back in round number 2. But either way, we're going to talk very soon, because this is a network.
I'll be ready if I've ever come around again. Trust me, I'm just gonna let it go.
Well, what if you come back to round 2? The only
how
time
can I come back to round 2? I got eliminated.
There's a last resort bowl where we take some of the people who've been eliminated. They get a chance to get.
That's what I want. I want to be the last resort.
No, but you get to come back. No, we're not offering anyone else. Now, what if you do face some of? I'm bringing some names, some wrestling contemporaries here from pro wrestling. We got JBL in round 2. Mark Henry's.
Oh, JBL is my me. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay,
him and he's always had a crush on me, so he'll absolutely fumble. He'll fumble.
Is this the part where I say on air I did too? But guys and gals, it's easy to have a crush on Medusa for the human being that she is as well. As beautiful as you are, externally, internally, you're also something special. Thank you again. Fast Friendship. You did great tonight as well.
Thank you.
Guys, please
Thanks
check out the book.
Everybody. Yes. Thanks to your whole crew and your judges and everybody are amazing. Yeah, they're honest. They're
honest. Yeah. And so are you guys. Check out the podcast as well of Medusa's. We're not done just yet. Check out the book. I will be talking to you soon, my friend, again. And thank you for joining us tonight in the green room.
Thank you for having me, everybody. Thanks.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Medusa, guys and gals. What a segment that was. Incredible. Hang around, guys and gals, because we are not done. There's more show to go.